is here.
Check it out.
And you're locked on to Utah's highest rated, most listened to sports radio station.
It's my station. It's my station.
This is Hans Olsen and Scotty G on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hey, let's get it, folks. Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. It is a Monday, our busiest day of the week. And so we got so much to get to.
A ton.
So I've made a lot of jokes about Lubbock, and I prepared you for Lubbock. Did I undersell how bad of a town Lubbock is?
Outside of that that stadium and those fans,
Yeah.
it's miserable.
You really fly into a cotton field.
Yeah, you do. It's a cotton field. And by the way, all the cotton was full bloom. Every pod was popped. Big old billy, puffy parts of cotton all over the place.
Yeah.
And as far as the eye can see. And no lawns on houses.
Nope.
And subdivisions are different.
A lot of brown.
Yeah.
A lot of dirt.
Subdivisions are different. You're driving. We were just coming down one of the side roads by the stadium, and there were 3 or 4 different dogs that chased the car that you typically you would see like out in the country where we're from. You always got the car chasers, but there were dogs chasing the cars, and I was shocked. I'm like, this is kind of different. I'm just gonna say different, because I don't want to be offensive, but it was kind of a rough area.
Well, I was watching the little bit of the ESPN game day and the McAfee field goal where the guy is able to try to make a field goal and make some money. Usually that's been, when I've watched these before, it's been on some of the most pristine parts of campus.
Yeah.
Like they want it to look good because, you've got, this is your chance to really show off the campus. And the kid was kicking off of dirt.
Dirt. Yeah. It's, the parking structure we parked in, it was not good, man. Like the whole thing was tagged. All of the whole side was graffiti and tagged, and you're like, what in the heck? And garbage all over. And I saw more piles of vomit in this trip than I've ever seen in my life. 6 piles of vomit.
Vomit.
In different areas.
Just straight out vomit.
Yeah, in different areas. 6 piles of vomit. And you want me to tell you the worst part? I'm going to tell you the worst part.
Wow.
I wasn't gonna,
Worse than the vomit.
I'm going to tell you the worst part because, and I apologize to anybody out there that's eating or driving around. This is the worst part. So there's a ramp that goes up to that sky bridge that walks you over the freeway.
Yeah.
And, I'm sitting there talking to Greg, Mitch, and Jake, and we're kind of getting ready for the broadcast. And so I'm zoned in on them, not where I'm walking. I step right into a big pile of dog poop. There's a pile of dog poop on the freaking ramp. And I didn't realize it. I did kind of look back and I was like, oh, did I step in it? No, I don't think I stepped in that. Well, when you get in the booth.
Oh, yeah.
You sit down and you're close to your shoe and the booth is tight.
Oh, man.
So I'm sitting there and I look at Jake Murphy, who's sitting next to me, and I'm like,
Jake.
I'm looking at him like, geez, Jake. And then I'm looking at Greg like, is that Greg?
And it's not Mitch.
I'm like, no, Mitch is cleanly. And so I'm like looking around and I turn my shoe sideways and it's just kicked on the bottom. I'm like, not to start the day. It was 8:00 in the morning.
A little foreshadowing.
So, yeah, it was, man. Poo
So
throughout.
fortunately, you had a backup pair of shoes, I'm assuming.
Did not have a backup pair of shoes, but what I did have is a restroom and a ton of paper towels. So I went in the restroom, pulled off the shoe, standing shoeless in there, wiping all this poo off the shoe, trying to spray it out of the sink. And it took me a good 5-6 minutes to where I could even sit with my shoe by me. But yeah, it was a little foreshadowing of what was to come. But I got to tell you, Scotty, how every trip has a story.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Every trip has a story, man. And Mitch makes me laugh. Greg makes me laugh. Jake makes me laugh. Those guys they're just funny. It's a goofy crew. Dude, we had a waitress quit on us right in the middle of the meal.
Was it because of something you guys did?
At Uncle Julio's. Honestly, like of all the times that we've been out together, I felt like it was the most benign.
Yeah.
But she was walking by and one of us asked for silverware with a napkin, and she was like, I just need you to bear with me. Can you just bear with me? And I was like, well, that was, we had chips and salsa and stuff.
Yeah, we're
and
good.
It was not a big ask. And then the table next to us that was all Texas Tech fans, they were like, corn tortillas. She's like, I've told you now 3 times the corn tortillas are cooking. And they're like, well, our fajitas are sitting here for the last 8 minutes. We need the tortillas, And she walked out. And then the next girl came over and threw on the apron and was like, okay, so where are we at with things?
Wow.
I've never had that before.
Wow. Quit mid-shift.
Quit right in mid-shift. And the other one came over. And it took a good hour to get the food out.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's one of our favorite places to go.
Did you break the thing and get it all over Greg again?
So we had to cancel the piñata, the chocolate piñata.
Because it was so late, or?
Yeah, because it took about an hour to get our food out, and we knew it would take another hour to get that chocolate piñata out. So, no, I didn't even get to club the piñata, which was even more of a downer.
Come on. My guy only has so many things that he looks forward to.
Clubbing the piñata, the chocolate piñata is a big one.
Yeah.
So, and it would have all been okay if BYU could have come out of Lubbock with the W.
Yeah.
And I did go back. I watched the full game this morning. A lot of it in slow motion. I've got a lot of thoughts.
Well. we're gonna have to save that story.
Oh, good one, Lloyd.
Yeah.
No, I was not.
Hands. Yeah.
Hey, look,
Hands broke the law, and the law won earlier today.
shout out to Eagle Mountain's finest. And I think it was Officer Carrero.
Oh, yeah?
I think.
Gina?
Not Gina Carrero or Carrera.
Yeah.
Is it Gina Carrera?
Yeah.
Carano?
Or is it Tia
Carrera.
Tia Carrera.
Yeah. Wayne's World.
Gina Carano
is
the fighter.
Yeah. And the actress that got canceled and now she's back.
Yeah. Now she's back with a vengeance. To the Eagle Mountain's finest, and to you, Officer, I wish I could remember your name. I did look at your badge. Thank you for serving our city so well. And
not giving our guy a ticket?
No, and well, look, they didn't. They didn't. They thought I was drunk. But here's the thing. You're right. I should not be straddling the line.
Yeah.
Shouldn't. I'm just glad that they're pulling people over that they think are drunk because I want them to get the drunk idiots off the road.
Yeah.
He
apparently he thought you were Officer Quavo, apparently.
Yeah. It was so funny because he hands me back the license and he goes, "Hey, you can understand like why I pulled you over, right?"
And your excuse was?
I said I was on the phone with my producer.
Yeah. He's like,
and I said, if you know anything about my producer,
you know Lloyd. And he's like,
don't you put that on me.
And he goes, and he said, yes.
He said,
go ahead.
Drive safe.
Drive safe.
And he said, I expect this from Lloyd, but not you.
He was awesome. Man, I do love our men and women that serve.
Oh, I do too.
I love you guys.
Yep.
Anybody out there that's listening that serves our cities in law enforcement, protects and serves, I really do love you. And by the way, I do the whole thing. I pull over. I put my hands on the steering wheel.
10 and 2?
Yeah, like I do the whole thing. I roll down the window, put the hands on the steering wheel, wait patiently. Like I don't mess around. Like they just want to get in, do their job, and get out.
Get out, yeah. They want it to be over as fast as you want it to be over.
Yep.
Yeah.
Make sure you get your windows rolled down. Make sure they can see you and what you're doing, and they'll get you out of there fast. They got me out of there fast.
All right, 12:16, Hans and Scotty. So, what went down in Lubbock? Let's talk about it. Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
This is Hans and Scotty G.
Let's go.
The lineup is set, and it's time to kick off the show with the biggest topic of the day. This is the starting lineup on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Punt by Jack Burgess. Much better. It's a mouth down there. Scrambled for the football and an early turnover. Kingston retreated, lost the ball, and Hampton falls on it. So special teams miscues early for the Cougars. 6 offensive linemen. Power! And walking in is Cameron Dickey. Texas Tech making a statement in front of the nation today. Bachmeyer flips to the end zone and touchdown. Catch made by Chase Roberts. It was a crisp 75-yard drive. Just finally avoid the shutout.
Well, it
Yikes.
wasn't much of a game. Although I really felt like that missed opportunity to kick that field goal to go up 3 scores. Well, I guess I would have put it to 16. And instead, Texas Tech goes for it. When BYU got that stop and kept it 13-0 at halftime, I thought, okay,
that was such a
there's
sweet
some momentum.
stop.
There's some momentum.
Yeah, it was a sweet stop, and I went back and diagnosed that play. That was man-to-man coverage with Siali Acera on a slant from the slot. And Falatal Satawala sitting over the top of it, reads Morton's eyes, the quarterback's, and sees that he's pulling back to gun it, and steps up hard, too, and goes for the ball. So he went at the ball, not at the defender, and was able to tap the ball and get it out of the receiver's hands. It was a great play. Fantastic play. Good read and reaction by Raider Demooney,
Yes.
not Satawala.
Yeah.
Satawala on the 3rd down, to push it to 4th down, Satawala covered in the flats.
Oh, okay.
And had that tackle on the sideline.
Yeah, that's right. That's
to push it to 4th down, which is a really tough angle and tough tackle. When a running back can see the pylon and he's starting to turn the corner, that's a really tough tackle to make. So great job by Satawala to force the 4th down, and a great job by Raider Demooney. But, I could talk a lot about the defense, and I could talk a lot about the positive things I saw, because there were really good things defensively. But I think BYU fans, or sports fans in general, probably tuning in this morning or at noon to better understand what happened.
Yeah.
Right?
We've seen so many good things throughout the year. Why did it go south?
Okay. There's a few reasons. And I got to start with this because it was even more apparent as I went back and watched it again in slow motion. This is an amazing defense. They're really an amazing defense. And I'm starting to wonder how the heck Sam Leavitt and Arizona State and Riley Brown and these guys, I'm trying to wonder how they got to 26. I think back to it. The 26 points came, there was a final touchdown drive with about minute 40 left. Sam Leavitt took possession. He went the length of the field, scored a game-winning final drive and touchdown with like 10 seconds left. You think to that's pretty amazing.
Against this defense.
Yeah. Now, he does have Tyson Jordan.
That helps.
No, Jordan Tyson.
Jordan Tyson. Yeah.
So this is, okay, let me tell you why I get mixed up with that name. Because Ty Jordan is always on my mind.
Yeah.
Because I absolutely love that kid.
Yeah.
And then I always think, okay, don't call him Ty Jordan. Just call him Tyson, but it's Jordan Tyson.
Yeah.
One of the best receivers in the country. And so that makes a big difference. But watching that game made me even more impressed with what Arizona State did. One of the biggest reasons, and as I watched it, and I've known Aaron Roderick for so many years, Scotty. And I also am not afraid to be critical of Aaron Roderick. I'm not. He would be critical of me because we know we both have the jobs that we've got to do. And I've seen him be critical, and I know he's got a critical eye. So I'm not afraid to be critical of Aaron Roderick if I felt like he was way off base with anything. The truth is, he had to keep 7 guys in to block. Texas Tech almost the entire day ran a 4-man rush. Problem is they've got 2 bookends that lead the country in sacks, in Romello Height and David Bailey. They're 2 of the best. He kept 7 in to block almost every passing down and passing play. And it just limits routes. It limits opportunities. I'm going to give you for instance. It was a 3rd and, I want to say 8, or maybe it was even a 3rd and 12. 3rd and 8, I think it was. And LJ Martin stepped up and chipped hard on David Bailey. And LJ had to get to the flats in order to be the check down.
Mm-hmm.
Well, by the time he got off the David Bailey chip, because David was getting so much penetration, he had pushed back into the backfield a little bit too far and didn't have a very good angle to get to the flats for the drop off to go get the first. So I totally understand where Aaron Roderick's coming from. He could not just put Jota and Gentry. I mean, you can, but the outcome's not going to be great.
No.
You know, people say, well, what's the definition of insanity? Well, doing the wrong thing over and over. Well, he's watched 9 games, and he's seen David Bailey and Romello Height destroy any offensive tackle that's in front of him, and he's thinking, well, I'm not going to do that. So he ran a max protect formation, which kept Texas Tech sackless until the final, drive of the game. It was all the way deep into the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Before they finally got a sack. So his plan worked. The problem is it reduces routes, and Texas Tech was not showing the coverage that they showed against Arizona State, where Sam Leavitt was able to hit those crossers and hit those quick slants and hit all those stop routes. They were doing a much better job of protecting on those. Bear Bachmeier did have a couple of completions that were really nice. He had a 3rd and 12 and a nice completion to Cody Hagan, but again, it was very, very tough and tight coverage. He had a really nice completion to Chase Roberts in the first half that was a post, kind of down the seam, and he hit him deep, and it was nice, but again, coverage right there. So where did things fall apart? Pre-snap penalties were a problem in the first half. There were 2 false starts.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you added yardage to your 1st and 10 or your 2nd and 5, anytime you added yardage, the margins are too tight, and it takes you out of the drive.
Yeah, you're done.
You've seen that before.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
It's like you can't, against this defense, you can't add 5 yards on a down and distance. You're dead. Drive's done. And that was the case in a couple of drives where you false start, you get yourself in a 1st and 15, or you get yourself in a 2nd, and that would have been a 2nd and 4. You get yourself back into a 2nd and 9, and it just doesn't work that way. So that was killing drives. Drop passes.
Yeah.
So they're tough catches, but I'll give you a perfect for instance. So you're 2nd and I think you're 2nd and 9. You run a 5-yard stop route with Chase Roberts. Bear Bachmeier didn't throw it real well. They were showing soft coverage, so they backed off Chase. Chase stopped and dug at the 5-yard mark. Bear didn't throw a great ball, but it hit Chase in his hands kind of down and low. It would have been a 5-yard gain. He dropped it. So now, instead of 3rd and 3 or 3rd and 4, now you're 3rd and 9, and the drive's dead.
Yeah.
Like every play, you had to have some progression every play. So people are going to wonder why they went away from the interior runs with L.J. Martin. Because they were working in the first quarter. Remember, I said they had 45 yards rushing in the first quarter. They had 22 yards rushing the remainder of the game. A few things. Number one, Texas Tech started running 7-man boxes. So they were tightening their outside linebackers into almost head up the 2 BYU offensive tackles. They were taking their middle linebacker, walking them up at about 3 to 4 yard depth, and keeping their 4 downs. So the box was brutally stacked, and they tried running into it a couple of times, and you saw it. Stonewalled. Yeah. Dead. Tackle for a loss, no gains, and just getting hit in the backfield. So they tried to loosen up that 7-man box by hitting to the outsides. Problem is Texas Tech safeties, Cole Wisniewski and Brendan Jordan, their safeties are just too fast. So they were just flying up to those outside plays, whether it was fly sweeps or flip outs or tunnel screens. They were just flying out and making tackles on the outsides. So the speed really hurt you, their ability to get outside. And then you couldn't press back inside. And then kind of an adding factor, especially in the second half, it was the score.
Yeah. It limits you what you can do offensively.
Yeah, you got to move the ball.
Yeah. Yep.
And so you start going away from the methodical run because now you've got a quarter and 5 minutes to make up 19 points or, at whatever point it got to 26. before eventually 29.
I said this on the podcast when you see the box score, if you didn't see the final score, but if you were just looking at the box score and you saw that Bear Bachmeier attempted 38 passes, you're like, yeah, that's not good. That means they're playing catch up, and you're not going to play catch up against Texas Tech.
And they did. They about a quarter and a half, they were really trying to press and play catch up. The evolution of that game's really interesting. It's interesting, and I keep thinking to myself, for instance, if Will Farron just makes the field goal, like when did Will Farron start missing field goals?
I know.
I know it's around 50 yards, but if he just makes the field goal, you're down at that point by 7, I think.
Yeah.
I think it was 10-0.
Yeah, 10-3 at that point.
It would have been 10-3. And you're down a field goal, and at least you feel like there's production, and you get some first half points, and you're feeling a little bit better about things. You know, he misses the field goal, pulls it left. You know, and then you're thinking, okay, well, let's flip this field. There were a couple of different opportunities to go for it. One was a 4th and 3, and you decide to punt, and it's just a short punt. The first punt was completely shanked, almost straight out of bounds. So special teams was a complete meltdown. Offense was more stalled out because of what Texas Tech was doing defensively. I'm just going to give all the praise to Texas Tech and then some of what ended up it evolving into. But I could see what BYU was trying to do. Now, the question BYU fans has is, if they rematched, could the outcome be different? If they rematch, could the outcome be different? Yes, it could. It could. But this game is going to be won like Arizona State did it, 26-22. This game will be won by holding Texas Tech to 24 points and you getting 25.
Yeah.
That's the way you beat Texas Tech. No, they're so disciplined, you're not blowing them out. Mm-hmm. It's a really good team. Excellent team.
Bronco Mendenhall joins us next right here on The Zone.
Let's go! Complete game coverage of the Cougars is right here on the KSL Sports Zone. The Cougars return home for a battle against TCU. Your home for the best coverage of Cougar football is right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. This is Hans Olsen and Scotty G, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hans Olsen, Scott Gerard, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Sounds like we got that from an 80s movie.
I was thinking about like a Nintendo game.
Yeah, I was trying to think where that one came from.
It sounded a little bit like a Contra game or something.
Yes.
Or a Punch-Out, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
When
it shows him running on the street.
Running,
yeah.
Big Mac's there trying to push him on the bicycle. Hey, Bronco Mendenhall and the Aggies put it on Nevada over the weekend. We're going to chat with Bronco coming up here in just a moment. But, yeah, they needed that. 41-0 at halftime. Ended up with a big victory. It's good to see those guys have a day like that, for sure.
51 points on Nevada. And that was a real encouraging game. You know, Boise State put 24 on them. New Mexico put 24 on them. Fresno State put 20 on them.
Yeah.
And Utah State went and put 51 on them.
Yeah, 41 at halftime.
Just to give you an idea, Penn State, to open up the season, put 46 on them.
Yeah.
So, you know, that season opened up with with Nevada at Penn State. Penn State mustered 46 on them. Yeah. So, really impressive.
Let's get to it. Time for our conversation with Bronco Mendenhall.
It's time to talk Utah State football with the head coach of the Aggies, Bronco Mendenhall, on 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
He is the head coach of the Utah State Aggies, Bronco Mendenhall, kind enough to join us as he does every Monday. And, Coach, I know that it's about the process, but and it's about the long-term development as these guys, as players and as human beings as well. But got to imagine the food tastes a little bit better. Everything is a little bit better after a big win like that.
Man, that's an understatement. Yeah, it was a really good win for our program. I think most had slotted that game, probably their coach and myself, as a game that's going to the end, maybe relatively low scoring as the rest of their games have been. Their defense playing strong, it being a 1 to 3 point outcome, difference at the end. And yet it didn't start like that, and it certainly didn't finish like that. So just lots of really positive things from an execution, mindset, energy, and a consistency standpoint from our team.
Well, Coach, the first thing that catches my eye, just coming from a trench perspective, giving up 0 sacks and Bryson Barnes nearly throwing for 400 yards. Talk about the offensive front. How much did that produce and help, and what did Bryson Barnes get out of that?
Yeah, just exactly what you said. The bye week after 8 weeks came at a really good time, and lots of opportunities to see what we were doing, how we were doing it, possible ways to do it better. And then a week of just, I thought, our best week of practice, not only from an energy but an intent and a desire to play the game and play it really at a high level. And those things came together where, as you mentioned, no sacks, which Bryson throws the ball really well, and when he has time, and can make those decisions necessary, then it leads to not only the yards, as you said, but also the points. And gosh, that's super effective, and especially we were much more effective on third down, which has kind of added to the consistency.
I was telling Hans yesterday on our podcast, I really felt like the play of the game wasn't necessarily the first touchdown, but was the 3rd and 8, because a lot of situations you've been stuck in 3rd and long, and to be able to convert one on a beautiful pass and an incredible catch by Brady Boyd and then turn that into a touchdown the next play, to me, that's where things really got working in your favor.
I just mentioned that in my press conference at noon. I thought one of the biggest plays of the entire game was the 3rd play of the game. After really not much success on 1st and 2nd down, Bryson is under pressure. He's being hit and throws it, and the beautiful pass, Brady Boyd goes up for it and converts the first 3rd down, which just there was something about that play that just kind of ignited the team. And, next player, the play after, if I remember correctly, was a touchdown. Defense then is playing really well, and then it really just compounded from there. Offense, defense, field position from special teams, and really never look back after that stage of the game.
Brady Boyd with his first 100-yard plus game on the season. Just talk about Brady, his progression, how he's come along, and the role that he plays as a senior for this team. Yeah,
it's really cool because again, the transfer portal is a unique space, and there's plenty of things that are challenging about it, but there's also some great things that can happen with it. And so Brady, University of Minnesota and Texas Tech, and neither of those two experiences ended up where he really had the experience that he needed, or the production and playing time, and comes here, and as a senior, how he's contributing the team first mentality, the complete buy-in and work ethic, his intent in that game, not only the production, but how he went about it was, it's just great for our team, and it's really good for him, that's an example of the portal working really well for not only a program such as ours, but also a young player.
Defense really was flying around, making plays, getting stops, getting off the field in 3rd down, forcing turnovers. What was it about the game plan and the execution that allowed you guys to be so successful there?
Again, the best week of practice we've had as a program since I've arrived. My messaging, again, there's 2 parts. It's not only what you do, which are the tactics and the techniques, but it's how you do it, and that's the mindset. We talked about culture a little bit either last week or the week before, and ultimately the teams I coach and would like to be a calling card is they just simply play harder, longer, and more violently and more physical, and that's just becomes their DNA. And the week of practice was the closest to that I'd seen in my time here in Logan. And then, but there's also kind of a sub-story. The defense held San Jose State, really explosive team, to 25 points. 24 scored on the defense in New Mexico, and now 14. There's an undercurrent of kind of just here comes our defensive unit, here comes our secondary, and here comes a group that's becoming more and more and more capable and reflective of what we all want them to be and who they're becoming, which I think is kind of a backstory.
So, Coach, catch me up on Matira Brown a little bit. I saw that in the second quarter he picks up an interception. I don't know a lot about him, so help me know more about him and that interception that he had.
Yeah, so Matira came to us from Snow College, and Matira has been playing inside linebacker for us, and with with the players we have at that position and some lack of depth at what we call our SAM position, or kind of the apex player, the field space player. Matira has played there some as well, and he's also played our will linebacker, kind of our boundary edge rush position. And so he's super versatile. He's really smart, and he's just a journeyman right now in giving us where it might not be a full 22, meaning a full two deep defensively. And most of the best defenses that I've coached, there's been about 14 players you could really call on, maybe one additional D lineman, maybe one extra backer, maybe a safety, maybe a corner. But rarely has it been a full 22. Matira has kind of given us the equivalent of someone that can be a primary backup at all four linebacker spots. And so super smart, big, fast, athletic, and just, really fun to be around.
Bronco Mendenhall right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. UNLV, defensively, they're giving up points, but that is as dynamic of an offense as you're going to face all year. What do you expect against the Rebels here in the early stages of your preparation?
Yeah, really just what you've mentioned. I've kind of been addressing that all day. So they lead the league in scoring, and they also lead the league in points allowed. And that's a really unique combination. So their games are explosive, where there's big plays and there's drives and there's points offensively, and then they're very capable defensively, and they're taking the ball away at a high level. And then just some inconsistencies, where you'll see some big plays against them. And so it really, man, you got to battle and reset and battle and reset and battle and reset and be ready to play 4 quarters of football. And it usually is pretty arrhythmic when you're watching them. And the swings are pretty large, and the emotional swings and the momentum pretty significant, just by the nature of what we said statistically of what they've shown so far in the season.
So, Bronco, to finish, at UNLV, at Fresno State, Boise State at home. I know this is a gauntlet. It's the who's who of Mountain West Conference, and it's going to be tough. But let's start with this coming Saturday against UNLV. Kind of your thoughts in that game.
I really like the way it shapes up. I mean, it's Mountain West football, and you just mentioned the names and the brands of each school, but really I think everyone is so similar, including Utah State. And so different style of play versus UNLV, and we're on the road, right, when we haven't cracked that code yet. So we're all anxious, team, coaches, staff, players, everyone, anxious to be able to have what we just did translate and take it with us, and then do it again, and then finish at home. But what a cool opportunity for this program. And I think, we certainly haven't gotten ahead of ourselves, but I like the way it lines up for an amazing finish. And really, as a coach, you want to be playing or helping your players just have every game be meaningful all the way through November. And these kids have positioned themselves, and our staff has positioned ourselves for exactly that to happen. And so we're going to go after it.
Coach, appreciate your time as always. Thanks for joining us.
Love it. Go get them.
Okay, thanks a lot.
All right,
See
Coach.
y'all. Bye.
There he is, Bronco Mendenhall, head coach of Utah State, right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Big one.
So you lose at New Mexico, at Hawaii, at Vanderbilt, at Texas A&M. Man, you're right. I wish they could have split Hawaii and New Mexico.
Yep, that's it.
Just split that one. But you got 3 opportunities. And this team, it felt like and looked like they all clicked.
Oh, it was clicking. This was their best game of the season, no doubt. And I know, look, Nevada is 1-7. I get it. They're not good. But to be able to flex on them, they were coming off a bye week too. They're in the same situation. They had 2 weeks to prepare, and Utah State just jumped them quick, and it was over.
UNLV sits 7-2 right now. They just got a good win against Colorado State. They lost back-to-back games, Boise State and New Mexico. They had won 6 in a row before that. They started out the season 6-0 with wins over UCLA, Miami, Ohio, Air Force, Sam Houston, Wyoming, and Idaho State.
Yeah. Not necessarily the who's who there.
Nope. Boise State got them bad,
Yeah.
56-31. New Mexico beat them 40-35. They were at home in that game.
Look at their points allowed the last 3 games.
Yeah, 42-40, 56-51.
Yeah.
The last 4 games.
Yeah.
And you could go further. You could go 42-40, 56-51, 31-41. Sorry, 38. So 48-38. Yeah.
Over under on this one, 69.5.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there can be some points scored.
It's what?
69.5.
Ooh, jeez. That's big.
Yeah. All right, 12:50, Hans and Scotty. Remember, you'll hear Kalani Sitake coming up at 1:05. You'll hear Kyle Whittingham coming up at 2:05 as we continue to get you ready for another big weekend of college football right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Nobody gets you ready for Utah football more than the KSL Sports Zone.
Ready?
Kyle Whittingham and the Utes hit the road to Waco for a showdown against Baylor. Your home for the best coverage of Utah football is right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. This is Hans Olsen and Scotty G, presented by Mountain Land Supply on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Hans and Scotty, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. You don't like this song?
Yeah, I like this song.
Oh, okay.
It's old school.
Yeah. Little Sawyer Brown. Let's go. Race is on. All right. By the way, what you may have missed right here on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone, Weber State just moments ago announced that they are releasing their head football coach, Mickey Mental, is no longer the coach. Brent Myers will serve as the interim coach for the remainder of the 2025 season.
That is a really tough deal.
Tim Crompton, athletic director at Weber State. We want to thank Coach Mental for his efforts and his passion he put into our program. We wish nothing but the best for him and his family in the future.
That's tough because they start 1-5 in conference play. They're 3-7 to this point, but they're on a 3-game losing streak. They've lost 5 of their last 6 games.
Yeah.
Losing to UC Davis, Sacramento State, Eastern Washington, Montana, and Montana State. So they're in a tough spot right now at 3-7. And then you go back and just look. Mickey Mental went 4-8 in 2024, 6-5 in 2023. And the really tough thing is he took over a team that was constantly winning the conference or in competition to win the conference and
in the playoffs
and pushing into the playoffs.
Yeah.
So if he was taking over an embattled program that has struggled, I could see them maybe letting him finish out the season and then see how the recruiting goes. But they've seen enough.
Yeah.
Weber State replacing their president too, because wasn't it?
Yeah.
Their president that
is
moved on to
now
Utah State.
Yeah.
How's he doing?
Actually, his first day is today. He's been around the university for the last week or so, and he's laid some groundwork. But his official start date is today at Utah State.
I'm pretty impressed by him.
I met him at halftime. He came up and hung out with us during halftime. Talked to him a little bit. Had him on the air. By the way, Brad, thanks for listening. He's like, hey, listen to you and Hans all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we got to mind our P's and Q's. We got a university president listening to us.
It's just another reason to tighten up.
Yeah.
You and I have tightened up.
We're not nearly as loose as we used to be.
We've really tightened
Lloyd's
up.
over there like, I don't know about that.
we don't get as crazy as we used to get. Because now we got presidents of universities that tune in from time to time.
I told you the other heavy hitter that listens to us.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That one makes me clench up big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's in the 12-ish kind of thing?
Yeah. Some 12 guys.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to say you need to tighten it up for him a little bit. I don't have to see him every week.
I don't know what you're talking about. All right. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.